All right, my friends, welcome to episode 252 of Prof and Dev Play Games. This is another palindrome episode, which means that we're going to kill it today. Over there is Anthony the Dev at SummerSpeak on Twitter, and I am Larry the Professor at Prof Plays Games on Twitter. How are you doing this fine weekend?
Doing okay. More yard work. Always.
Yeah.
Today was pressure washing the decks of my house since 8 a.m. this morning. So that's been fun. I'm now tired, but that's okay.
Yeah, you've been working out the last few weekends with your.
It's summer. It's summer in Washington.
Your one time.
You gotta take it while you have it, and get everything done that you need to do around your house in the yard, right, before you slip back into 9 months of overcast and rain.
I thought you were gonna say before the cops come into your deck and beat you for no reason.
Hey, maybe I'm not in that around that. They don't cross the ferries
yet.
I think that I saw a sheriff on the island sometime last week. There's always at least one on the island, maybe two. But I never see them.
Yeah.
Don't know what. Honestly, I've always heard that this is the cushy job, where
not much going on on the island.
Yeah, pretty much. And they're like, meh.
Yeah.
We'll send the people that don't want to. They'll just chill in their little house and respond to I don't know.
It's kind of the best
deer getting hit.
It's kind of, and you don't need a cop for that, but it's kind of the best police presence is like chill until there's a real reason to not chill.
Pretty much.
And
pretty much.
Boy, oh boy, the police around this country right now are not chill, and
they're not chill at all.
They are making communities less safe. So please do what you can to support the people who are fighting against that, folks. This week, boy, oh boy, we are talking about Microsoft's Xbox Game Pass showcase. I know it's the Xbox Games showcase, but I'm going to rename it. It's the Xbox Game Pass showcase, which isn't a bad thing.
Getting right into it.
I mean, that's my whole take, which is fine. I think it's great for me. But they came out, with their huge kind of what would have been perhaps the E3 showcase or part of it. And a bunch of games, and people were like hyping this through the roof, just like this is the Xbox presentation that is the biggest of their tenure as Xbox folks, and they need to kill it. And how do you think they did?
Moderate. Like, I didn't find it the most exciting thing out there. Partially just because a lot of these games that they were showing are clearly not going to be out for a while, which I expected, because when they acquired a bunch of studios, when that timing is all, it takes time to make a big AAA game. And so, yeah, a lot of these games seem to not be going to show up until 2021 or 2022 at earliest. Some maybe 2023. So I think from that standpoint, I was like, okay, well, you've got stuff. That's cool. Maybe do this again when things are closer to coming out.
Well, they did say they
showing off a lineup of like what your launch is going to be beyond Halo, because Halo.
Well, they did say that they're going to have another presentation later. I don't know if they said it was August or if they even gave a date or not. I can't remember. But I think that, like what Nintendo did do before whatever they're doing now, kind of like a steady drip of news.
Yeah. It seems like all the major publishers are doing that now. I think just in the pandemic times, it's making more sense for them to roll things out with more frequent, if a little bit smaller presentations.
Right. Just own the news for a little bit.
Yeah.
For me, I felt the same. It was all right. I was expecting more, to be honest, just in terms of gameplay and dates. I felt like there were a lot of CG trailers, and for example, like Everwild, the new Rare property, felt like CG. I think
I don't think it's CG. I'm pretty sure it's not CG.
But they later said we're still playing around with what the game actually is. Rare said that. So
exactly. I don't think it's CG yet. That looked in-engine to me.
Okay.
Again, you just don't know what the hell the actual game is.
Exactly.
I'm like, this looks like pretty, and this is cool. What is it?
Yeah, it's great. The thing that I really liked about it, and I thought that they did a really good job in this presentation, was basically setting themselves apart from Sony and Nintendo. I just wish they were more forthcoming about saying it, basically saying we're done trying to compete with Sony on that stage. We're doing our own thing, and our own thing is Game Pass. It's the best value in fucking gaming. We're going to have a ton of, it seems like the resurgence of AA gaming. Like, we're going to have a ton of AA games that are going to be fun, interesting, varied. It's going to cost you $5 to $15 a month, and that's what we're doing. You can play it on your Xbox. You don't want to buy an Xbox? Cool. Play it on your computer. Don't have a computer? We're going to bring you xCloud. You can play it on your phone. And that's what it felt like they were doing without saying we're giving up on the arms race with Sony, you know? And I don't know... I don't know if in 3 months they have those big guns that show that they're still competing on that level, but I just feel like the thing that I saw in the kind of social media that I follow, specifically for Sony, is just a ton of Xbox folks saying, I'm buying a PS5. Like, you guys, there's a ton of exclusives coming for PS5, and I have a computer, so I can play there. So, thanks. There'll be fewer PS5s to go around for the Sony ponies, I guess.
I feel the same way. Clearly Microsoft's not out of the hardware game. They're still going to make, or Microsoft is going to make an Xbox. They're in the hardware. But it definitely feels like, since all these games, all the first party at least, are coming to Game Pass, it's not a necessary thing anymore. Like, they're definitely transitioning away from the hardware being the important part, right. Where Sony is not. Yeah, Sony is very much still like, nope, we own a bunch of studios, we make first party games, they're, for the most part, exclusive to our console. Although we're seeing that even shift slightly with like Horizon coming to PC, Death Stranding.
Death Stranding is going to counteract the point I'm about to make, but something like Horizon, where they put it out 3 years later, like that makes sense to me. Like, you've made all the money you're going to make off Horizon on the console, like, and if you want it, you're not going to wait 3 years, right? After 3 years, like, okay. But Death Stranding is what, like 6 months, a year?
6 months, or 6 months came out when I started.
That was pretty short. Also,
it was short.
I don't know if it sold super well, but whatever.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes, and I'm curious if that will continue in the future. If Sony will dabble more into, even if it's not simultaneous release, like 6 months to a year later,
right?
Go for the PC mark. Honestly, it's probably not a bad move. If it can be done, like, it's just more money at that point. All the early adopters have already got your hardware and bought the game.
Yep.
So, but yeah. But
Sony's still saying, like, our box is important.
Important to us, yes. They are a hardware company. Sony makes hardware, and as a corporation, they make devices and hardware. Microsoft isn't really. They do make some devices, but the main product Microsoft has always made has been software focused.
Right. Operating
system, Office, tools like that, cloud computing now, Azure. They have some laptops, Surface laptops. They've made phones in the past. They've made a music player in the past. Of course, the Xboxes.
The Zune.
The Zune. It's true. I mean, they've dabbled in hardware, but they've never... the Xbox is the only thing I've ever felt like they truly committed to hardware.
Yeah.
Like, as a company, we are a hardware company when it comes to consoles and games. But even that now just doesn't feel like it's important for them. They're like, we can do software. Why don't we just do software?
Right.
And sure, for the people that need something to play it on, here's a piece of hardware to play it on. Go.
It's also more compelling on the Sony side, where they are, for the most part, saying we are moving on with our console generation. We're going to make things for PS5. We're not going to have them go back and play on PS4. We're going to have PS4 games come forward, at least 100 so far, or whatever it is. But with Xbox, because I have an Xbox One S, if I really did want the console experience, I could still play Halo Infinite on that, you know?
True.
Although my gaming laptop is way better than that, so that's not probably going to happen.
Yeah. I think they're really focusing on this Game Pass thing. and really pushing the subscription.
Well, it seems like it's good for devs, just anecdotally. Crosscode, which we'll talk about later, launched for PS4, Xbox into Game Pass and Switch on the same day after having been on PC like a year ago. And like the Game Pass engagement dwarfs the PS4 plus Switch.
So here's the thing:
sales.
That's engagement.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how they get money from it, though.
That's true. They got just a flat fee. That's what I understand.
Flat up front, at least as far as I know.
That's what I've heard.
It is a flat amount you get, where you then additionally get a bonus if you're like in the top 20, top 10 most played for a week. You might get a little bit of a bonus, but it's not huge. All the main money comes up for that initial deal.
Right.
So that's cool. If that stays, I worry if that stays the model that Microsoft uses, because I guarantee you, it will change the target of how games are made and what they're going to do. You will see more microtransactions going in.
Oh God,
because how else they want to make? They don't just want the upfront money, because it's a guessing game on what those upfront deals are.
Yep.
But then you want to make money off that engagement.
Right.
So then you start doing microtransactions. And I guarantee you, if this is the way that Microsoft does this, in 5 years, most Game Pass games are going to have some form of microtransactions in them.
Well, the other thing, like, I think that makes total sense. And the other thing that we're seeing specifically with Outer Wilds, and maybe this happened before and I didn't catch it, Outer Wilds is in Game Pass, but the DLC is not. So you have to buy the DLC, so it might also incentivize devs for games that are staying in Game Pass longer to quickly ramp up, quote-unquote DLC packs, things that they maybe held back from the initial launch to make money off that, which makes sense if you're getting engagement. But you're right, that will fuck up how games are developed.
It just changes it. I don't think it's necessarily good, to me, coming down good or bad, but it's just an accepted reality that the distribution method of games will affect the games themselves.
Yeah.
We've seen it, let's say, with TV shows with like Netflix and Amazon streaming. The way TV shows are made and presented, like you watch TV shows made for those streaming platforms are very different from TV shows that were made for network TV.
Oh yeah. I mean,
or even HBO or premium stations that air one a week.
Right.
They're fundamentally written differently, have different beats to them, whole thing.
Well, you think about the network TV shows, they were, 8-minute sequence or whatever, and every 8-minute sequence, and it was something you had to see what happened next, where you're able to let that breathe more on something like Netflix. But then,
they want
obviously,
you to
the end of
binge.
each episode, right, each episode ends with that hook, so then you keep binging it. Or, something even like, I feel like with HBO, like, those are slower, like the story beats are slower in some way. So you're right, wherever they are publishing those shows, even Disney Plus, they just started releasing like micro movies or something like that, where it's like very like 12 to 15 minute quote unquote movies, just to drive up engagement and views.
Yeah, it's a different, and so distribution medium changes the product in some way, or the product considers its distribution medium, I should say. And I feel if Game Pass is becoming a thing and they're really pushing for this, the type of game and what you'll see games do on it will be different, and it will change over time to maximize engagement and profit in a subscription model. And so I feel, one, as a consumer, it's great, it's cheap, but as a dev, it does work. I'm like, what is this going to do? Is this going to be great in the end? Or is there going to be a backlash of like, what are all these games? Why are they doing this? And people, mobile games went through kind of this. They never had a subscription, but it was a dive to that free-to-play model.
Right. The free-to-play thing, but then Apple Arcade now. Subscription.
And it's a very, and a lot of times the subscription, the thing is with those mobile games on like the Apple Arcade, although I think those are mostly premium stuff that Apple gives.
Right.
Yeah. The few premium games that still exist. It feels sad, but it's true.
Well, that has kind of ramped up, I think, some production of those type of games to get in there specifically.
Yeah, because you get at least something. But yeah, so I think I saw the general feedback of being like, this is a Game Pass show for Microsoft. And I'm like, it is.
Yep.
And if this really is what they're pushing and it's going to catch on, it's going to change the content of the games people are consuming in different ways. And I think this will push for, assume, other competition in this field. Will Sony start doing this? Will they start just doing a subscription, like a better version of PS Plus?
Right.
That, hey, look it, you own this. While you can't play it on your PC, you just subscribe to the Sony PS Plus. I don't know.
That's just not going to go anywhere if they're just going to do streaming, though. They have to do download.
But that's my thing. Do you just pay the subscription, the yearly? So what's it's $60 a year retail for, or is it 50?
For
50
PS Plus?
Yeah,
60,
I can't remember.
60.
60 a year. What if it was 100 a year, but you can just play any of the first party games?
I mean, I'd be there in a fucking second. That's such a great value.
Yep. Yeah, you're just like, yeah, just do it.
Yep.
I
mean, that's 2 games and you're done.
Yeah.
Price wise.
It does get to the point again. Then I'm like, but what if they're games I want to own? I guess I just buy them at that point.
I think the games that you really, really love, like if my Witcher 3 escapades are any indication, I've bought that on every platform I could. So I'd probably rebuy a game that I love. I think I did rebuy Assassin's Creed Odyssey, actually. I bought it digitally and I bought it physical, but then I gave it to my brother for his birthday.
Nice.
Which he just tore through. He loved it.
Nice.
So sharing the love.
But so beyond that, we should go back to the conference.
Yeah, but really quickly, with the Game Pass thing, really quickly, because I don't currently have the Xbox console in my house. It's with my in-laws. And I'm, obviously probably going to purchase just one next-gen console because I have a nice gaming computer. Like, I really enjoyed the fact that everything here is going to be on Game Pass, which I guess they didn't say specifically like Game Pass for PC. So I guess I don't know if all of them will be on Game Pass for PC, but that just kind of feels like that's what that is. When they say Game Pass, it means kind of both at this point for me.
Yeah, I assume there's going to be some clarification there later.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Because some of these might not show up on PC. But so far, they've shown up on PC.
Right.
For Microsoft first-party stuff. Gears 5 did.
Yep.
Same day on PC, on Xbox. I assume Halo is going to be.
Yeah, no, they already said Halo will be. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't imagine. Maybe there's a few here that may not, but it seems pretty. Unless they say differently, I'm assuming they're all on PC. Yeah. And I mean, with that, what did they show? They showed Halo Infinite, starting off, which I was like, it's fine, it's Halo, like with a grappling hook, but it's Halo. Like,
that's
they're
the
not
thing, though.
Breaking the mold, really.
No,
with this one.
They're going back, and I thought they did a really good job of basically like really striking the nostalgia chords for Halo Combat Evolved. Like, it really felt like it is more Halo, and it's like Halo. Maybe not so much Halo 5 Halo, but like real Master Chief, like the sounds, everything. It was just like going back to basics with hopefully some new stuff, like, not just the grappling hook, but other things like the open world map, things like that.
The open world thing is probably the most exciting thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because my dream of Halo was always the open world or the open ring. Mm-hmm. Because when Bungie, before they were owned by Microsoft, they showed off Halo at Macworld in 99, maybe. It was early. Oh no, 2000. I don't know. I have to check again. But it was right around that time when we were in college. First thing I ever saw of Halo was at Macworld, running on Macs at the time, because that's what Bungie was known for, was their FPSs on Macs. And it felt, what they showed off felt very open world. Like it was like Master Chief going into a base, attacking, coming back out, getting in a ship, flying to a different part of the ring, landing, doing more things. Like it felt very open, and you could just, I see it, I want to go there, let's go. Which for the time was breathtaking. Then Microsoft bought Bungie and shoved Halo onto a console that could not do that. So you got broken up levels, a more traditional approach.
Right.
At least that's my assumption. There was no way that the original Xbox was going to do that open world stuff.
That's kind of their vision initially. So
yeah. So this isn't Bungie doing this, but this actually felt back to that vision of, yeah, we're going to let you actually like have freedom to explore. And I hope it is that way. I'll be disappointed if it's still kind of constrained, where it's like, yeah, they're big levels that you can move around in kind of freely, but very distinct chunks.
My issue with that is going to be, like, that's the same thing I'm excited for, but the way that and maybe this is just the demo, the way that the enemies were placed, it felt like the enemies were constrained to like a box or a pattern. So that if you were roaming in the open world, if they just stayed in their little box, it felt contrived. So I'm hoping that was just a feature of the demo more than anything else.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm excited. I'll try it on PC. I'll get it with Game Pass and play it and see how it feels. I'm not the biggest Halo fan out there.
I
played the first 3 games and ODST, and I was fine. I don't look back on them to myself as like, these were so amazing. I was like, yeah, they were fine. I had a good time playing them. I played the first 3 all co-op with a friend, and that was fine. We did a lot of stupid shit. That was at least half of our playing those games was just griefing each other. Why? Because that was what's fun. It wasn't. We didn't give a shit about the story. There was no shocks. We mostly made fun of the story all the way through. But the gameplay was fun enough, and yeah, it was just one of those just like laugh and do stupid shit, and eventually beat the game.
Yeah, I played all 5 of them. I haven't played ODST or Reach. I really want to get back to Reach. I played them all co-op, and found my problem is I don't like sci-fi that much, and I don't like first-person shooters that much. So it's like 2 strikes against it. This is not a game that I would seek out on my own to play. But now that I've invested in 5 of these fucking games, I probably will at least check out Infinite. But if I can play it co-op, that's what will probably pull me through.
Yeah.
There was just a lot of, like, a fucking hate wagon about this game in the last couple of days, though, about how people thought it looked shitty or whatever, being held back by Xbox One.
I don't think it looked shitty, but there was definitely some weirdness. I noticed, like, weird level of detail pop in shadow stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't typically notice that stuff, but I was like, when it was panning, I was like, what the hell is that, like, black air? And then it pops in, and it was really, I was not expecting that. Like,
it's an odd choice for your like breakout game and your first reveal of it. You want a better first impression, I think. Yeah,
I mean, I don't think the general art style of the game looks bad. It looks like Halo.
Right.
But it was these little tiny things that I'm like, what's going on? Like, that's not something you want in this presentation. So we'll see. I can definitely see how people are like, why doesn't it look better? I'm like, well, it's Halo. This is what Halo looks like.
Right.
This is an art style choice more than anything.
Well, it felt like they were really trying to hew toward that. I don't know. I thought the environments looked fine, but it definitely. I saw some people saying it looked flat, and I think
I could see that. I could agree with that.
The textures looked flat to me.
Yeah.
And that just seemed like a deliberate, like you say, it was a deliberate choice, but an art style choice for sure. So I don't know.
I would say that Halo, that's an art style of Halo.
Yep.
Flatter palettes and colors and textures. More detail to the characters, less to the environment.
Right. Yeah, that's what stood out to me. It's fine. The next thing that came up was Forza.
Of course. Yep.
I was like, here's the car porn. I was
Here's
surprised.
cars.
Yeah, I was surprised though that it's not coming out. There's no date, and it's not going to come out for the release. Like this is like a 2021 game at least.
Yeah.
So maybe they're taking their time and going back to basics or what. I don't know.
I don't know.
It also might be going back to your original point about the way games are made might change because of Game Pass. If you want people to continue to subscribe, there's no reason to put them all at the same time. Like a normal launch window would have 3 months and 3 different big games. Like don't do that. If you want people to stay subscribed.
Again, we talk about streaming services, subscriptions, TV. They time their releases pretty specifically to keep people month to month keeping that subscription.
Totally, right? And that's what
Disney,
I think.
Watch Disney Plus since it launched. It was so very deliberate in the way it's releasing content, which is fine. I mean, that's the goal. They want to keep people subscribed. So, I totally 100% believe Microsoft will be starting to choose release and launch windows to keep that subscription excitement going.
Yeah, I think there'll be people who are pissed off about that who are not Game Pass subscribers who want those games to buy them early. But as someone who probably will be primarily a Game Pass subscriber, it's nice to have something to look forward to every 2 months, or some big game, like a nice cadence throughout the month, which Nintendo could fucking learn from this year. Although this is COVID, so I think that's a big part of the Nintendo problem. But we're not talking about Nintendo right now. Anything about Forza that got you going?
Not really. Looked pretty. Car game. So Xbox Game Pass has said that's hit as April 29th hit 10 million subscribers.
Right. And that's different levels. Like you either have the Game Pass for PC, you pay $5 a month, right?
Yeah. So let's say it's 10 million subscribers at $5. It's 50 million from subscriptions a month.
Yeah.
And it's not just that. I mean, I bet there's don't know what I honestly expect that the PC Game Pass is actually much smaller, because if you ever look at just game sales on PCs and stuff, the PC market is actually quite a bit smaller than the console market for just game sales and game playing. So
that's interesting considering how much money Steam rakes in. But I guess people are buying a ton each person, maybe.
There,
I don't know.
yes, it's a different thing, but the total number of copies of a game selling on Steam, it's rare that it ever breaks 1 million copies. Pretty damn rare.
We got Ghost of Tsushima who sold 2.3 or whatever in its first 3 days.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's some variation there, but I would expect that over half of those 10 million Game Pass subscribers are probably the $15. Or is it 10? Is there 10 as well?
I thought it was 10. I think it's 10.
I think there's a 10 and a 15.
15 is
the
ultimate.
Yeah. All right, so at least half of them are probably $10 subscribers. So, I mean, they're making probably $75 million a month on subscriptions. So,
if you can guarantee that without even putting worrying about how much you're gonna make off your game, like that, it's just it just seems like a good model for Microsoft. I don't know what the devs. If you're the first party devs, though, I'm sure it seems fine.
Yeah, first party devs, you'll be fine. After that, they did Rare's Everwild, which was very, very pretty. I love the art style. I have
freaking loved it. It was
clue
amazing.
what you do. I have no clue what the actual game is going to be, and
goddamn, it
who knows when we're even going to see what the game's going to be? Who knows when this game's coming out? At this point, at earliest 2021, I could see this going later.
Yep. I mean, if Rare literally doesn't know exactly what the gameplay is going to be like, I can't see it being earlier.
Yeah. But it's pretty. It's really pretty.
Really good. It's like a really good art style choice, like a cell shaded plus. I don't know exactly what you call it, but I was a huge fan.
Yeah.
And Rare is great, so we'll see. I'm actually kind of excited to jump into Sea of Thieves for that reason.
Yeah. I've heard good things now about Sea of Thieves.
Me too.
Some coworkers have been doing a group of 3 and loving it. Something called the Tall Tales.
Yep, that's what I've heard
Specifically, they said that those are awesome.
Yep.
So that's what I would like to try.
Me too. So next was State of Decay 3, which was a CG trailer of a kind of African American woman or a black woman surviving against fucking zombie deer or moose or whatever.
It's zombies.
But I didn't get a sense. I mean, obviously I've seen State of Decay 1 and 2. I didn't get I assume the gameplay will be the same.
I assume it's similar or built off those core concepts. Probably some twists, but
it was frustrating to not see gameplay, like with this one specifically, because the gameplay is probably not a fucking surprise, and you probably have something. I don't know. It's just there's so many CG trailers that kind of piss me off.
Yeah.
Next was Avowed.
Yeah, was that the one? No, I think the thing we're listing missed the one thing. Grounded?
Oh shit, you're right. Grounded came first.
Grounded came first, which is actually coming out. God, I think
September or August?
No, it comes out in 2 days, 28th.
Oh shit! Oh, it's already coming out. Okay.
And I don't know if it's out. I think it's whatever they call early access. But this is Obsidian doing the like open world co-op crafting survival game with their RPG take into it. So, and it's effectively Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought it was.
The game in some ways. With
a Battletoad.
I'm pretty sure it's coming to Game Pass, and I will try it on Game Pass.
Well, everything in this thing is coming to Game Pass.
And so
it looked fun. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
It looked fun. So I like Obsidian, and it's a different take for Obsidian, so I'm willing to give it a try. And that's what the beauty of Game Pass is. Just like, all right, I'm paying my subscription anyways. I'll check it out.
Right. Yep. But then they showed this game Avowed.
And actually, can I pause you there? Before they showed Avowed, they showed the guy from the studio, Obsidian, sitting in front of Pillars of Eternity. I was like, are they about to announce another Pillars of Eternity? And
they did.
Quite. Well,
no,
it's in the world.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have to call it Pillars of Eternity, but they are making another game in that world. They can call it whatever they want. But
for me, because it's not the isometric, it's not the same gameplay. Like it feels like they're like, okay, those didn't do so well. We're going to move on to something else in the same world. Do you think that's the case?
They definitely want to keep the world, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. Right.
They feel invested in that IP, and I don't think so. I think they actually just have the money now to do it. I think this is the Microsoft money coming in, going like, here you go.
That's right. That's totally right. Make the thing you want to make.
I mean, so Obsidian's first world first-person RPGs were
New
Vegas. Did they do another one? I don't know if they had, because they always did ISO RPGs for like BioWare. They did like Knights of the Old Republic 2, Neverwinter Nights 2 for a long time. They were like the studio, like, you make your original game, you hand the engine to Obsidian, and Obsidian makes this like crazy story using your engine, and that everyone loves more than the base game. So
exactly.
This just to me feels like the next step of being like, yeah, we didn't. Bethesda never asked us to make a Skyrim spin-off, so we're just going to do it ourselves.
But we would have loved to, and here's what it would have looked like.
And we have this IP. And all I can. Go ahead.
The part of the trailer where he stands up and he's holding magic in left hand and a melee in the right hand is like, holy shit, it's fucking Skyrim.
It is their take on Skyrim.
Fucking great.
And I want to know if Matt Mercer is going to be voicing characters in it.
I would.
He voices major characters in both Pillars games.
Right.
A number of the Critical Role people do. I would hope so. But yeah, I'm excited for it. But this is a game that's not going to be out probably for 2 to 3 years.
Oh man, like it's going to beat Skyrim, or not Skyrim, Elder Scrolls 6 at least.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, and I'm curious what that will end up being in the end. It's exciting though. I'm all for it, and it's totally a game I'll play on a PC.
It's the game that was the most exciting for me from the whole conference. Yep. So that was nice.
Great.
It was I wasn't expecting it at all, so that was great.
Then they got some Outer Worlds DLC, which is cool, but kind of fell off that game pretty hard. It's fine. But
it's on Game Pass. I'm going to check it out, but I felt like a lot of people said the same thing you did. Like it starts off strong and then kind of falls apart.
Yeah. You can tell it was done at a smaller budget than... And it was. They were trying to make like a big... Can you make a game, a Bethesda-style sci-fi like Fallout game at a much smaller budget? And you kind of can. Like, they did well with what they were doing, but you can tell where they cut corners. It was clear. What else did we get? The people that made Life is Strange, the Tell Me Why episodic thing.
Yeah, and that's coming out soon, next month. And they confirmed it sounds like it's a 3-episode arc, and it's like August X, whatever date it is, and then September 1st and September 15th or something like that. Like really like close together, which was always the Telltale problem, where they just didn't do that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, again, Game Pass, sure. Why not try it?
I'm definitely trying that one. I'm really super interested in that one. I liked Life is Strange for the most part. I never played 2. But I'm definitely, it's a 2-hour experience, 3-hour experience. Each episode probably.
Before getting to the game that they ended on, skip through the stuff that was other, like, third parties. There was some stuff in there that was unexpected.
Well, the fucking Tetris Effect finally getting multiplayer.
Yeah. Yep.
That's surprising. Xbox timed exclusive, at least. I
Yes.
wonder if that's just going to be folded into my Tetris Effect on PS4.
Probably when it happens. Yeah, when it comes. Maybe you might have to pay a DLC fee. I don't know. Maybe you won't. Who knows? Who knows how long the timed exclusive is? But then they showed in Game Pass that Destiny 2 is coming to it with all its expansions.
When that was said, the last possible thing I needed Stadia for, which I canceled already, is gone. Like, I had all of D2 there. I could play it there. Now I'm like, I can play it on Game Pass. All right, I don't need Stadia anymore. Bye. That was, that plus Xbox, whatever it's called, xCloud is just fucking Stadia killer, man.
Yeah. We want to talk about a game that has transitioned to be a game that wants to work with subscriptions and make money on them. It's Destiny 2.
Yeah.
I mean, they want engagement and players, because then a portion of them are going to buy the in-app purchases.
Right.
And that's how they want to make their money. And really, they're just giving it all away for free for here. So, I mean, Microsoft paid them some upfront money for this. But, yeah, this is totally what I'd expect to start happening. And cool. I get to play the Destiny 2 expansions.
That's how I feel. Like, I want to play those. I started playing them on Stadia, and obviously that's my Pro is lapsed, so I can't play them there.
Yep. I played through whenever it went free to play. I played through all the free campaign content and finished it, and I'll now play through all the rest of it. I may have to start a new character. We'll see. We'll see if they have cross characters between Game Pass and Steam.
I'm hoping so.
PS4. Like, I mean, Bungie does it, but Stadia didn't. Like, you couldn't. Your character on Stadia could not. Well, did they have cross save? Just not cross play?
Well, I used my character from PS4.
Okay. So at least it has cross save. You just couldn't play with, like, I couldn't play with you on Stadia.
Right, because you couldn't do crossplay. That's right.
Yeah, so cross save. So I expect it'll be the same here. That's cool. And then we got As Dusk Falls, venture game from Quantic Dream people.
Exactly.
Oh wait, this is the yeah. It was
like a female game dev or narrative designer or whatever who left Quantic Dream in 2017, I think, and started a studio in London, and this is their first game. I thought the art style was interesting, where it was kind of like stop motion almost.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it though.
Yeah. What's the other one? I
like interactive storytelling, so I'm at least interested. And Game Pass obviously makes it easy. The barrier to entry is pretty low.
Yeah, and they had a lot of this is where a little bunch of the CG stuff came in, or pretty small stuff like the Medium, which was cool. That
one was fucking cool.
World going on, and I don't know what the gameplay is in that.
It's like, a fucking horror game. I'm not going to play it, but it was the one that showed off like the next gen possibilities, kind of like Ratchet and Clank Rift in Time. You can just swap between the worlds. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play it because I don't play horror games, but it looks good.
People were pretty damn excited for Stalker 2.
When that popped up, I was like, oh, it's more Metro. I'm like, oh shit, nope, it's Stalker.
No, it's Stalker. No, the actual one I thought was Metro was the Warhammer 40k Dark Tide.
Yeah,
I was like at first because I couldn't see the like. I'm at least versed in 40k imagery and I know what it would be, but when they were first showing it going in, I was like, okay, this looks kind of Metro-y, like rundown, dilapidated architecture stuff. Oh, never mind, that's Imperial Guard. Cool, it's 40k.
Yeah.
And then it's Dark Tide from the developer of Vermintide, so it's their take on a 40k style of Vermintide, which is a game I need to play. Actually, I've heard really good things about Vermintide as a co-op, just fun game of like running through and destroying things as a group. 40k could be good. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think this is still a ways out, so we'll see.
I remember playing Stalker 1 simply because it was set in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And I had just come back from Ukraine, so I was like all about it.
Janky as hell.
Then I stopped because it was janky as hell.
But it is the epitome of a like cult classic game. There is a very vocal subset of people that love the Stalker series. And this probably just blew their mind that they're getting a game that is straight up Stalker 2, even though there's already been 3 games in the series. None of them are called 2.
2, right.
So whatever the significance of it being a actual like numeric 2 sequel, we'll find out, maybe because it's a brand new engine and very different graphics capabilities. I don't know, but
yeah. Right, because they had like Shadow of Chernobyl.
Yeah, there was another one too.
I don't know. Interested. I don't know.
Call of Pripyat, Clear Sky, and Shadow of Chernobyl.
Yeah, there you go.
And they came out 2007, 2008, 2009, in reverse order there.
Right, which is when I came back from Ukraine, having lived in the shadow of Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Like, and quickly moving. There was the other game that I was super excited about was from Image and Form, the SteamWorld folks.
Yeah.
The Gunk looked like a cool like 3D platformer kind of thing.
Yeah.
Different. They just have different games every time, like a card game and a fucking SteamWorld Dig, fucking Dig Dug kind of thing.
Yeah.
They just like making different kinds of games.
Yeah, and I think that kind of it was showing off kind of the power of like the organic environments and changing them. So it looked pretty interesting. And then I don't know, I'll probably give it a try at least a little bit. Again, Game Pass, why not? Or is that one coming to Game Pass? Did it show?
Everything in this presentation is coming to Game Pass.
All right. And then they showed that Dragon Quest was coming too.
Yeah.
11 Definitive Edition. Like, okay.
It's the Switch exclusive. It's the definitive whatever, Dragon's Blue Stage S or whatever.
Yep.
But it's the Switch port. It's being ported from Switch, so the graphics are going to be not as good as the Dragon Quest 11 on the consoles, which is funny.
It's really funny.
So and we finished with
a title card, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Which as soon as
a CG trailer to a title card.
As soon as it said Playground Games, like, oh shit, it's fucking Fable, and I thought it was funny. It was definitely a tone piece, right?
Yep, it's tone and it's Fable.
Yep.
Cool.
I'm sure people are excited. I need to go back and play the original one, so
nah,
I have plenty of time to at least try it out. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you'll enjoy it a lot. I don't know. It's very Western action RPG.
I'm interested in the humor. I do like British humor a lot, so
yeah,
that's what I'm curious about checking out.
Yeah, I've always equated it to being a bit more closer to Zelda in gameplay, but with deeper RPG mechanics.
Well, that sounds kind of cool.
It is cool. They never grabbed me. I tried them.
Yeah.
They're just one of those franchises that just kind of faded away, where I was like, oh, it's fine. because I found other RPGs that I adored way more, mostly BioWare things. So,
right. Yeah, no, totally. I mean, the thing that stood out to me in the conversation after this presentation about like the console war is over because they're all doing different things. It's like, dude, they aren't fighting each other. They're fighting over your time, like,
yeah,
not your money. Like, it's your time now. There's so much. Yeah. They're fighting against Netflix and fucking against Fortnite and whatever else.
Yeah.
So, and they're all making a shit ton of money right now because of the pandemic. So I don't know how much they care.
Yeah. I think coming out of this whole thing, there are really cool things to see here. I will play them on Game Pass. This doesn't sell me on a console, though.
And I feel the same. I feel the same way, and I think yeah, exactly. I think Microsoft is like, cool. We're happy that you guys feel that way. you know? We're in the ecosystem.
I won't cancel my Game Pass subscription.
Correct. Cool. Yeah, me too. $5 a month is kind of hard not to.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to. I mean, that's pretty good value. One quick other thing before we move on to what we've been playing. Just we didn't get a chance to talk about that freaking Jason Schreier article about Ubisoft, where they basically the creative director Haskell or whatever his name is.
Right.
Basically saying women don't sell. Like, it was supposed to be Cassandra was supposed to be the lead only in Odyssey, or in Origins, Bayek was supposed to die early and then you'd play as Aya, which would have been fucking rad. I still like Bayek, but playing as Aya would have been better. It's just like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. I mean, at this point, are we surprised?
No, I just wanted to say what the fuck on this podcast.
These people are in power and make these decisions?
No. Like, just that report, like, what a fucking asshole, man.
Yeah.
And there's no way, I'm going to just double down on the fact that there's no way, because they're fucking close personal friends, that Yves Guillemot did not fucking know this shit was happening. That guy has got to go.
Yeah, I'm sure he knew. He just didn't care.
Didn't care.
It's his friend, whatever.
I totally agree. I think that's totally the case, which makes me feel like maybe I will just play Cyberpunk. Although I don't know if CD Projekt Red is any better. I have no idea, but...
I mean, CD Projekt Red has had their problems over the years, I will say. They don't get a completely free pass from me.
Right.
No, they don't get a pass, but I also understand coming from they are a Polish company who have different values than I would say I do in a lot of ways. And they've reckoned with a lot of them going on.
And I'm glad there's some of that reckoning is not public, but yeah, definitely.
And I'm like, yeah, I understand that might be okay for you culturally, but you're a worldwide company now, so you may need to get different community managers and people talking. But yeah, that's the hard thing sometimes. But
I did want to pull that in so we could talk about it.
The Ubisoft one is that dude, and just the detail that Schreier was able to get of just like, this guy has been fucking with these games for a long goddamn time.
That's why they're all the same, because the same guy has to frickin', pass them on.
Yep. And what? Yeah. Yep. Cassandra should have been the only character there. That would have been fine. And she was. It even felt like she was the character that you're supposed to play. So, at least that still stood out. Because yep. I don't know. I don't know at all, but we'll see if there's any more fallout from that as time goes on.
There better be. Why don't we move into what we've been playing? And I'll let you go first, because I think it's been one game.
It has been one game, and I finished it. Persona 5 Royal with the Platinum.
Very nice.
129 hours and 54 minutes.
Jesus. Does it have an in-game timer, basically?
Yep. Your save has a game time on it when you save. So my final complete save, because when you beat the game, they make you make a complete save, so you can use that to load into New Game Plus. Why I'd want to do New Game Plus, I don't know. But
oh my god, are you thinking about it?
No.
Okay.
Nope. I have played through now Persona 5 Royal and original Persona 5.
Right.
I played the story twice through with Royal giving me an extra chunk of story. Game is absolutely amazing. I will really go down and say it's really in my top 3 best JRPGs games I've ever played. And actually playing through it the second time in the Royal, it's just a better game all around. They've improved every aspect of the game.
That's really
at least in some little ways. Like, it's just like, yeah, this is a more better mechanically, and then story-wise is more a cohesive whole.
So what mechanically is better?
There's just a lot of little things done to the way baton passing works. You can baton pass. I don't know if you've played enough of it to see the baton pass mechanic.
I don't think so.
It's where you hit a weakness on an enemy, then you can say, I want a baton pass to another party member, and you can chain them to do more damage as each baton pass goes. So you're trying to like hit the weaknesses of the enemies, so just like chain through your party to give them extra moves, but then they get bonus damage, they get mana back, they call it SP in this game, and they get health back. So it's a kind of where the fighting, the combat is very tactical in that way. So in the original Persona 5, you couldn't do that with characters right off the bat. You had to level up, get their confident level up a certain amount before you got. It's there from the start with the character.
Oh, that's nice.
You just get it. Nice. You get it all the time. But then that's why you have like darts to play with characters. So you play darts with characters to make the baton pass better for that character. When each character has 3 ranks of baton pass now. So they've deepened that level of the combat. They've made it so that guns aren't limited ammo for an entire dungeon. It's limited ammo per encounter. So you can always just use your guns each encounter if you need to.
Good.
And they rebalance the game to manage this.
Right.
So that was like I think the big drastic changes to it, but it just made combat feel way more dynamic through the entire game because you're doing all the cool stuff you want to do anyway. They expanded the technical knockdown system, which is like the combo system of not focusing on weaknesses, but like putting status effects on enemies, like making them dizzy, and then hitting a dizzy character with a different attack with a certain element can knock them down. They added a whole multiple level thing that you can upgrade of like your technical level for your team to get better, more and more benefits out of like technical planning like that. Yeah, so that mechanically felt a lot better. From the battle systems, they made it so that the palaces, for the most part, where it was really hard to do it, almost impossible to do it in one day, I would say, or one time period to get to like the treasure, because the whole point of the game is to infiltrate a palace, get to the treasure, find the treasure where it is, then you leave, send a calling card so the treasure will appear in the palace, and then go steal the treasure on a following day. And it was really hard to infiltrate all the way to the treasure on your first day, like, because you'd just run out of resources.
Mm-hmm.
You don't run out of resources really anymore. If you manage yourself well, you can make it there in one day. These just long, epic dungeon crawls, which I just think was better. I enjoyed it a lot better.
Does it feel like things in the original game where they thought they were trying to like balance challenge, and then maybe feedback was that it was too much?
Maybe. I don't know if it was just that. If they just felt it was better this time to be like, yeah, if people can do it, that's fine. We'll add a couple hidden rooms to each dungeon. It's these things called will seeds, and there's 3 in every palace, and they're like take special side paths to get to. But as you get them, they replenish your mana, your SP. So you can go, not completely, I think it's like 10% each one, but that's enough to help you along to get you farther and farther in. Just little things like that, where, again, baton passing can give you SP now when you baton pass to people, so you can start refilling people's SP a little bit here and there. I don't know. They definitely changed a lot of that stuff. Just, I don't know, polished and sanded off the rough edges, I would say, of the game.
Yeah.
The original game and the original mechanics. And then you just add in, like, hey, we're going to flesh out the story a bit more with these new characters and really integrate them into, like, the game overall. Not just the third semester, but, like, from the start, these characters are there, and it kind of weave in and out of the story and bring new aspects to it. So
I feel like the narrative is much stronger.
Yeah, I think it was. It is complete and total anime bullshit, but I love it so much. Like,
I mean,
holy
spoiler,
shit.
I guess, but aren't you fighting God at the end of the original game?
You're fighting a god, yes.
Oh, okay. But then
Could it be God? I don't know. It's God. It's a god, because this is a JRPG in anime. Right. Who's the end boss? God. A god, some form of god.
But if
yes,
that's
you
the
have
end,
to kill them.
if that's the end boss of the original Persona 5 and they tacked on another semester, does the god shift to the end of the game, or do they put that still in the same spot and you have more
Same
after that?
spot. There's more after it.
Oh shit. Okay.
It's
How
the
do you top fighting the god?
repercussions of you.
Yeah.
What does that mean if you did that? Kind of leaves a power vacuum. So it's different. And I will say, in some ways, I'm like, yeah, maybe it's a little tacked on, but it actually fleshes out some of the story of repercussions of your actions. And I will say that the villain of, I use villain in quotes, for the Royale portion of the game is really good. Like, it's definitely one of those villains where you're like, I totally 100% agree with you what you're thinking, and like, but I do not agree with your methods at all.
Right.
But it's a very sympathetic villain. And throws some crazy twists in there towards the end of the mechanics and the everything. New girl is best girl.
Really? Did
Yeah.
you save yourself for the new girl?
Yeah, I did. Kasumi.
Awesome.
Yep,
Nice,
that was my
nice,
romance. I was like, gotta see that one.
Yeah.
Which means
When you
playing
said
through the entire game, because you can't
Right.
do the romance until the third semester.
That takes some of the fun out of it.
Oh no, it's
Although
fine.
it's a nice payoff later, probably.
Yeah.
You mentioned that the trophy cadence is pretty logical, or makes sense in terms of what you're going through. There's not a lot of bullshit in the trophies.
No. I will say that you still should plan some
Mm-hmm.
to at least be like, okay, I need to visit there's not a ton of weird side stuff, but there's definitely pieces of like, oh, again, anime bullshit, I need to go visit the maid cafe enough times to order off the special menu. So making sure you have the time to do that. And yes,
Right.
there's a goddamn maid cafe.
As an MAID?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I mean, it's a Japanese thing.
Yeah.
They totally exist in Japan, and it's not shocking.
What's
but
the product?
Food, but everyone's
But
just
they're all dressed like maids?
yes,
Okay. All right.
it's a thing.
I
I
believe
mean,
you.
Google it. Do it.
No, dude.
Just
No.
do it. Come on. I'm
right,
sure
fuck
you'll
it, I'm
find
gonna Google it right
documentaries on it.
You keep talking. I'm gonna Google it.
Sure.
Maid cafe. I'm gonna go Persona 5 Royal first, then I'll do Japan.
So it exists. I'm sure it exists in the U.S. too. Honestly.
Master of Akihabara trophy.
Yeah, that one.
Oh my Christ. Okay.
Yep.
Maid
Yep.
cafe Japan.
Yep. What else did? I think there was only a few trophies I needed to go a little bit out of the way for, and it wasn't a ton. I think they tamed down the trophies for Royal, so it made it just they fit with you just playing the game.
Right. More accessible.
Yeah. But got the platinum. It was great. I'm happy. I see why this game is rated at 95 on Metacritic, 96.
It's the highest rated PS4 exclusive.
Yep.
It beat TLU 2 by 1.
Yep. It's really good.
I mean, it makes sense when you get kind of a second chance at it. You know, like they always do with the Persona games.
Yeah, but I think Persona 5 even still already had.
Oh yeah, it was in the 90s at least, or for sure.
It's really high. The original Persona 5 was 93.
Okay,
so
93, yeah.
That's not too bad. Not too shabby.
All right, this maid thing isn't as bad as I thought.
No, I mean, that tends to not be bad. So yeah, their Metacritic score improved to 95. So they improved their Metacritic by two points. Which is actually really hard to do when you think that they had a Metacritic of 93 to begin with.
Right.
And they were able to improve upon it.
I definitely want to play this game. It just
I don't know if you could make it through it, I'll be honest. I don't know.
Well, given my lifestyle, no. But yeah. I think it's more like if I am going to make it through once, I think I should do Royal, not the original.
Correct.
That's where
you're not missing out on anything by playing only Royal. Right. It is everything the original game was, but more and better.
So I would hate to like actually commit to P5 and then play the original and be like, "Oh, that was great. I want to like," and then do what you did, play fucking 900 hours.
God damn it! I need to see this new content. I mean, God damn it!
Unlike you, I have a kid and a job. Oh wait, no. How the fuck did you do it? You have both. Actually, you have 2 kids.
I stay up really goddamn late, and my kids are older. So
yeah, that's true. That does it.
It is very possible for me to get a lot more game time in.
Yeah.
And honestly, since Thursday, they've all been camping.
Oh, dude.
So I'm home alone.
Dude.
So, okay. I mean, I had to work Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
But as soon as, like, end of the day rolled around...
See ya.
I just sat there and played Persona 5 for...
Actually...
6 or 7 hours.
Isn't that the story of P5 with you? They went on a camping trip and you blazed through. Jesus, It's like your camping trip game.
It's the only way I can actually finish games in a reasonable amount of time, in these big ones like this.
Get my family to go camping. Got it.
Kind of. Sometimes it happens. I just didn't want to go this time. I had work stuff, and honestly, I don't find camping all that fun. And so, already being stressed in a general level of stress from pandemic times does not make the thought of dealing with camping easier to deal with. So
right.
I was just like, no, I'm just going to stay home. I'm just going to be miserable while I'm there and frustrated. So I'll work and do a lot of yard work while you're gone, and then play a lot of video games at night.
Yes, that sounds like heaven.
And I did. I played a shit ton. And I beat it. I was happy. So that's all I've played. I have pushed everything to get that through this and to get done with it. And I'm so happy I did. And I'm happy this is my 4th platinum. So.
Let me see here. So, P5 Royal, Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't think you platinum Persona 5, did you?
No.
Yeah.
Diablo 3.
Oh, right, Diablo 3.
And then there was one... No, the Diablo 3, Horizon... What's the other one? I have to look at my trophies. Because I looked, I had Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh, yeah, no shit. Duh.
Yeah.
Right.
Which was also a very long game to platinum.
I mean, yeah. The thing I keep thinking about with... I think I platinumed that around 100 hours, but when I think about your 130 on P5 Royal, like, I played 115 on Odyssey, and it didn't feel like that big of a deal, you know?
Yeah.
So, over time, I guess. For me, it was funny whenever I'd log in and play the game I was playing and see you playing P5 when the rest of my list was all playing Ghost of Tsushima, which, dude, is rad. It is fucking great. I think it starts slow. It starts off very cinematic and very cutscene-y, so that kind of slows it down. But then once you kind of get out and follow the critical path for a second, and then you can get off and do whatever the fuck you want. It really feels a little bit like Breath of the Wild for me, where you see it, go there. There's something interesting. There's there's too many smoke pillars. Like you could do something else besides smoke. But there are, foxes or birds or whatever calls you in different areas. I just dive into the fog of war basically and see what's over there. And I'm having a lot of fun exploring and discovering. I think the combat is fucking excellent. It is really good in that there's really no level. You can kind of go anywhere and battle with anyone, and you're gaining new techniques to take down people with like unblockable attacks or whatever. But if you were patient and skilled enough, you can kind of take down anyone in the early game. Well, except for the boss that you basically are forced to confront at the beginning, who is designed to beat your ass and throw you in a river. Other than that, it throws like sword people at you, archers, spearmen, brutes, kind of all in the same encounter, and you have to like attack each one differently, changing your stances, and kind of juggling all that at once is pretty engaging. I think the camera blows. I think the camera is awful.
Yep, you're not the only one who said that.
Boy, oh boy, that is the worst part of the game, and it's bad. But even like I hate games with bad cameras. And despite the bad camera, I'm still loving this game. So it's the rest of it pulls it up for sure. So I'm just really enjoying. I know I've put 10 hours in because I'm streaming everything. I'm sending everything to our YouTube channel, which I'm a lot more active in now. So if you're listening and like our show, search Prof and Dev Play Games on YouTube and subscribe. That'd be great. Putting a lot of content up there recently and a lot more coming up. We're doing a backlog binge, and I'm just finishing my first backlog video of Far Cry 3, which I think is pretty interesting. But anyway, back to Ghost of Tsushima. Looks good. Beautiful world. Super interesting story. I think it's like the little side stories. It's really like nice because you can dive into like a 15-minute, 30-minute chunk and then call it a day, or you can get in for 2 or 3 hours. So I'm playing that at night, every other night when I get my gaming time. And then my daughter and I have been playing Yoshi's Crafted World, and she's just been obsessed, wanting to, advance the story and find the gems and beat Bowser Jr. and then we play act everything like we were doing with Wind Waker, like everything's Yoshi right now. So we rolled credits, and it was typical Nintendo fashion, just like with Wind Waker. I think I'm done, and then the boss continues, and then there's another form of the boss and another evolution. It's just like the half an hour gaming session turns into an hour or whatever, which is fine. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then
did I tell you about Persona 5? Jesus Christ.
How many evolutions of the boss are there?
Okay, let me see. We won't go. I'll do the Royale boss. 4.
Damn.
And then, I mean, it's weird. I would say that the final boss is actually the second form, and then the last 2 are much more cinematic, but you're still in control. But I don't think you can lose.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like that because it kind of like the harder thing is earlier.
Yeah.
So
and now we're just gonna make you feel fucking awesome. So
right, it's like the denouement or whatever the fuck it's called, coming down. So did that with my daughter, and then today I got some time. Every weekend I grab a thing of tea and just go sit in the car for 4 hours and read and play games. So I played Crosscode today, which is just like a 2D fucking MMO. Like they've recreated an MMO within a single player game. On the Switch, it lags. It's weird. You go into the menu and you press open your stats or open your inventory or whatever, and then 5 seconds later, it opens. There's a lot of stuttering on the overworld, so I bought it before I got my gaming PC, and I kind of wish I would have bought it on the gaming PC because now it's so portable I can take that anywhere. But still, it's fun. And I played Smash Brothers. I played the what was it called? The Spirit Board, the adventure mode, single player basically.
Yeah.
And I forgot why I put it down, but I'm at a boss. I'm at Zero Suit Samus, which is the boss. It's like the Metal Gear boss, the boss. And it's a stamina battle where you both have a certain percentage, but when she hits you, you lose like 20% of your health or whatever, and you hit her and she loses like 0.20% of her health, and it's just like insanely long. And I was just like, oh yeah, I got here and I couldn't beat her, and I just put it down. And then I came back today. I probably fought her like 10 times and couldn't put her down, couldn't beat her. And I just finally Googled. I was like, what the fuck? Am I just like really bad at this? And it's the boss that everyone's like, what the fuck? And people are like, here are the like cheese ways to beat her. And one was like, if you have Kirby, and the way that the adventure mode works,
Yeah.
if you remember, is that you only unlock people like if you run into them, so you don't have access to all the characters. But the cheat was basically swallow her with Kirby, fly off screen, spit her out, or she'll jump out, and then fly back because you're Kirby, and then she can't get back. But I didn't have Kirby, so another one was to use Donkey Kong and just do the ground pound where you're just slapping the ground, and it fucking worked like a charm because she just jumps at you to try to attack you, and you just keep smacking her.
Nice.
It's like so just cheese the shit out of it. But then I played after that, and it was fine. It was interesting though because one of the characters that I faced later was Min Min, and if you remember the way adventure mode works, if they don't have the sprite of that character, they like choose a character that looks kind of like them and gives them certain items or whatever to make them act like them. But Min Min is in the game now, but they still didn't put Min Min in. It still was Corrin from
I see.
Fire Emblem with some shit on her arms. That was pretty funny. And then there was one other game that I played that I am... Oh, fucking Animal Crossing. I spent like an hour on Animal Crossing. And I basically learned how to craft things so that I could like start cutting down, cutting wood out of trees or fishing. I made a fishing pole.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool. This is great. So it was super relaxing. I kind of get it. There's no stress, kind of farm simulator plus other collection simulator.
Yep.
And then the last thing I played is Minecraft creative mode. I loaded it up because I wanted to show my daughter it. I'm trying to figure out like what the next game is for her, and we love building things and making adventures up, so I thought she would love it. Loaded it up, and I only have one trophy, and I got it on my birthday in 2014. I haven't loaded this game up since 2014. And wow, creative mode is super fun. You have access to everything, and you just build to your heart's content. And I was like, oh, she's gonna love it. No.
Yep.
She was like, the thing that was fun about it was she was like, oh, cool, can we build? It's like, yeah, we are building. No. Can we turn this off and build with our blocks? Like, yes, let's do that instead. She just
there you go.
was like, okay, whatever. She like told me to like build a castle and build a bedroom, so I was building stuff. Then she's like, okay, I'm done. But usually it's story, man. Those story-based games are what get her. So you were totally right. Nailed that on the head.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Just depends on where she's at right now. If she wants just story, or if it is purely about if the game needs to also have story in it in some way. Clearly it does at the moment. Can't remember at what age my kids were like, I want to play Minecraft more.
Yeah.
It was a little older, and it was very much they like wanted to just be in creative mode and just build stupid things and then blow them up.
I get it, dude. That's what I want to do. I was like, all right, I like Ghost, but this is fun. But I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. Well, that's good. You played a lot more than I did.
A lot of variety, but way fewer hours than you did. Way fewer hours.
I did 30 hours from last time we talked. So
I mean,
last Sunday I did 30.
I probably played 8 to 10, so that feels pretty good for me. Been doing a lot of editing again.
Yeah.
Check out our YouTube channel, Prof and Dev Play Games. Sometime this week I'm going to put up my Far Cry 3 backlog. Basically, screen recorded about an hour and a half, 2 hours of footage, and then cut it down to 25 minutes.
Nice.
So we'll see how that goes. Hope you enjoy it. It's been fun making it. Anything else before we sign off?
No, I don't think so.
All right. This was a Palindrome 252. It was nice to see you for this episode. We'll see you next week for episode 253. Stay safe. Stay safe.
Yes. Stay safe, everyone.
All right. See you later.